Hey everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. We're going to play in the flame today. Yay. So I went to town and picked up some new rods of glass, new to me. This is clear glass and it has this orange stringer in the center. So I'm excited to use it. And some orange and green. Of course, those of you that have been around here for a while know orange and green are my favorite colors. So the intention here is to create something that I've already made with, I played around with some blue and I made those earrings that I showed in my podcast this past Sunday. And it was with two different colors of blue, as well as the same thing with the clear glass and the blue center. So I thought that was really cool, and I wanted to go ahead and try it with the orange one and do orange and green. So I do have one prepared mandrel for a bead here. However, it's been a couple of days sitting, so if the bead release actually comes off the mandrel and I'm unable to use it, I have my new leaf mold pliers, the second pair here. They came in, and I have those ready to go if I can't use the mandrel. So, as you all know, we have safety glasses here ready to go, and we will start the flame. Now, once I start the flame, I will turn the volume off in the video, and I will either do a voiceover in certain areas of the video, or I will just play music so you can sit back and watch the glass melting.
Okay, so what I'm getting ready to do is start heating up both the orange and the green. Starting with the orange, just heating it up a little bit, creating a little bit of a gather at the end. So now I'm going to introduce the green and do the same thing while keeping the orange still hot. So just going to create a gather on both of the colors of rods. All right, so what I'm doing here is just building up a gather on each end of each of the colors of rod. So that way I can fuse them together. All right, now let's fuse them together, and we're going to swirl them around each other, back and forth from one to the other. So I'll wrap the orange around the green rod, and what that's doing is drawing some orange color and putting it on the green rod. Then I'll switch back and put the ball of hot glass, wrap it around the orange rod, and that'll draw from the green at that point. And I kind of stretch it as I'm going just to kind of swirl those colors together. And I may do this a few different times, just kind of creating a larger gather of glass and of both colors. When I'm happy and satisfied with the amount, I will break free from one of the rods. Giving it a little twist, trying to remove the green rod at this point, and swirling that orange and green as I go. All right, so now I have a big ball of a gathered glass at the end of my orange rod. So now what I'm going to do is just start turning and turning and turning it into the flame and holding it at an angle so that way it is facing more upright towards the flame and the end of it where my hand is down towards the table. And what that's doing is it's gathering a more symmetrical shape at the end and keeping it from just dripping off. All right, so right now I've got the mandrel over and I was heating it up to start to get it ready to apply that hot ball of glass. So now we're putting that gather on it. It was starting to get a little cool on me there, so I had to pull it back into the flame closer. There we go. Now we got it wrapped around. All right, so now we're going to go around and around and around and try to get it a little bit more symmetrical, working it down on the shaping pad there below the flame, just to kind of give it some symmetry. Once I'm satisfied with how that looks, I'm now going to bring in my clear glass that has that orange in the center and start heating it up and getting a little tiny gather at the end, making it soft and round and pliable. And what I want to do here is create a few stripes from top to bottom on the bead. And in the meantime, it's going to move that hot glass underneath in a way that it gives it a little bit more of a twist, a little bit more of a swirl to it, if you will. And here we go. We're going to do another one. And I believe I put one more on here at this time. And not quite satisfied. We're going to do one more. I have a good space to put one more strip. Oh, nope. I did decide to leave it with 3 and go with just a ring around the top and the bottom of the bead with that same clear glass with the orange stripe in the center, just to kind of tidy the ends up. Again, it will also give it a little extra swirl to it. Now we're going to heat it up, make sure it's good and hot, and bring the butter knife in, the handy dandy bevel edge tooling piece of equipment I have here. So the butter knife does work wonders when it comes to rolling the edges of the bead or whatever you're working with, just to kind of give it a little bit of a nice smooth shape. And I'll work both sides, beveling both ends. Try to give it a little bit more of a bead shape, if you will. Once I'm happy with it, I'm just going to take a gander at it here run it through the flame a little bit more and shape it just a hair more. All right, let's take a look at it. See what I want to do, if I want to do any more. Nope. Gotta shut the flame off and just kind of look it over and make sure that there's nothing that I see, any imperfections or anything. I'm going to pull it up here. Now, it is extremely dark at this point because it's in the cooling phase. So the colors are not completely shining through yet. Now, as it cools, those colors are going to pop. And you can see there on the surface as I'm turning it, how the colors are just starting to come through. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.